Emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Hello and welcome to the Final Order Report, where we bring you a hand-picked selection of comics and graphic novels before they head to print and quantities are finalized. I am Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer at Green Brain Comics, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop and your last chance to subscribe or special order before the final order deadline this Monday at noon. March 24th. These titles will be hitting our shelves as soon as March 26th. Green Brain Comics and the Final Order Report are proudly powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com or download the mobile app for Android and iPhone. Create an account or access your existing account to order and pay securely online, ensuring you never miss an issue. I'll be using Comichub today to showcase items from this week's Last Call for Confirmed Orders Carousel. Let me dip out of the way and show you around real quick. Once you get signed into Comichub, you'll see the aside item banner there. Behind the orange banner is anything that you may have already ordered that is in the store for you, waiting to be paid for and picked up or shipped. Behind the green banner is all of the carousels we will be using today to show you around. Let's click through that green banner. Once you get in there, you see the top carousel. It turns right to left is a results for most recent search or the most recent catalogs. Below that is preview pages. That's PDF previews of some of the books we may be looking at today. Below that is the orders due Sunday Last Call Carousel. That's the main one we will be focusing on, but I want to show you just below that is next Wednesday's items. That's all of the books that we are expecting in the store on Wednesday, March 26th. And below that are carousels for upcoming events like One World Under Doom, We Are Yesterday, and G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero Silent Missions. Let's scroll back up to the top there. Let's get over to the orders due Sunday. Open that up. Once you get there, you'll see the view now scrolls top to bottom. And you also have these red buttons, which are alphanumeric filters to go right to the titles you're interested, and we also have drop downs for publishers, category, brand, etc. All right, let's move right into it here. And first I want to thank Klezmageddon for providing music for this week's episode. Klezmageddon will have their new release coming out very soon on Brainstem Productions. Yeah. And our first focus today is going to be on small press comics. First off, folks, let me just say a couple of weeks ago I started changing. I changed the format of this program around a little bit, from just focusing on distinct groups of single issues that were on final order cutoff, and now I'm just doing the whole kit and caboodle, all or the majority of the single issues that are on final order cutoff this week. The reason I'm doing that is just because there's so many that have great art, and I want to show you all these different covers. And I just want to show you, like kind of single issues that aren't first or second issues or big giant one-shots. just want to kind of show you everything. But this is one of those weeks where I'm going to be hard pressed to rip through it all because there's a lot. But we're going to start off with the small press here, and I'm pretty excited about that because we've got a big book this week from Archaea / Boom Studios. This is the Mouse Guard Facsimile Edition, celebrating Mouse Guard's milestone 20th anniversary. Boom Studios and Archaea. Get it up there, yeah. Boom Studios and Archaea are proud to present a special facsimile edition of issue number 1 of the very first Mouse Guard miniseries in its original limited edition black and white printing. Presented at as close to the original version as possible, this iconic issue is the ultimate collector's item for longtime Mouse Guard fans, as well as a perfect start to the iconic adventures for new readers. This is from writer-artist David Peterson, who did the cover and all of the interiors. Wow, 20th anniversary. Well, this is, I guess, Boom Studios' 20th anniversary too. Interesting. But yeah, release date May 7th. That's cool. Congratulations. Next up, we got Arkham Horror number 4, The Terror at the End of Time, from Cullen Bunn, Andrea Muti. Also from Dark Horse, we got Black Hammer Spiral City number 5 with a Teddy Christensen cover. And this Tyler Crook cover. That's cool. I like that. Lady Baltimore is back with the Daughters of Medusa from Mike Mignola, Bridget Connell, and Abigail Larson did this cover. Hellboy and the BPRD ongoing number 75. That's kind of a loose numbering. This is Shadow of the Golden Crane number 3 from Chris Roberson and Michael Avon Oming, who did this cover as well. Dark Horse is also debuting a new Star Wars hyperspace stories called Codebreaker. This is number 1, focusing on Poe Dameron, the Ace Resistant pilot. This is a 4-issue miniseries from Ethan Sachs and Mark Yarza, with this cover by Diego Galinda on A. Par Sean Gordon Murphy. That's pretty cool. And then we move right on over to Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Phase 3, The Battle of Eriadu one-shot, with a cover by Jake Bartok, interiors by Alyssa Wong. And then we got a second issue for Who Are the Power Pals? This just debuted this last week from writer Dwayne Murray and artist Ahmed Rafat, who did this A cover. And we got a B cover from Tyler Boss. Over at Mad Cave Studios, we get a bunch of cool looking stuff. This week on FOC is Buried Long, Long Ago. This is a new series from writer Anthony Cleveland with art by Alex Cormack, who did this A cover. It's also got a B cover by Colleen Doran. Based on true events from 1901 through 1908, Belle Guinness lured dozens of lonely men to her Indiana farm and savagely murdered them for their money. Because Belle managed to avoid capture and face trial, much of this story remains untold until now. Unfolding in the comics pages from Mad Cave, Anthony Cleveland and Alex Cormack, it's Buried Long, Long Ago. Dick Tracy's back with number 9, with this cover by interior artist Geraldo Borges. And a B cover from Francesco Francavilla. Mad Cave also has Flash Gordon number 8 with this cover by Will Conrad and a B cover by Zach Howard. Gotcha Man, Only One Earth, number 3. I think we just got number 2 this last week, with a cover by writer Tommy Lee Edwards. And Epitaph from the Abyss, number 10, is due to ship on April 16th from Oni Press. Just a heads up, the last issue, Epitaph from the Abyss, number 9, was supposed to come out this last Wednesday. It was delayed. We should get that this coming up Wednesday. This issue 10 features a story by Jeff Jensen and artist Kano. And this cover by Lee Bermejo and a Derek Robertson cover. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Huh? Mine is a Long, Lonesome Grave. Number 3 of 4 from Justin Jordan, Chris Sheehan, and cover artist Matthew Roberts. And Kelsey Ramsey on B. And then on over to Behemoth Entertainment. Yeah, I can see now. Mine is a Long, Lonesome Grave, number 3. Okay, over to Behemoth. Or no, this is Penthouse Comics. Yeah, okay, that's the name of the publisher. Penthouse Comics, volume 2025, number 2, with this A cover by Filippo Curzi. Pardon me. A Lyrics Lee cover. The interiors also feature the returning writer J.D. Morvan. And Miss October. Continuing over from year 1 is Miss October and Gun Crazy. I also get a C cover from Alessandro Maselli, Andrea Milana, and Ingrid Gala. We get a Not Safe for Work bagged cover, all for Penthouse Comics, number 2. From Titan, we get a couple more issues before we close up the small press. We get Conan the Barbarian, number 2. This continuing series is written by Conan, veteran writer. Yeah, veteran writer. He's been writing Conan for a while. Jim Zub, with art by Doug Braithwaite, and this cover by Roberto De La Torre, and this cover by Michael Roth. Ooh, look, a Ben Templesmith cover. That's pretty cool. And this FOC Doug Braithwaite cover. It's a funny looking face. And finally, in small press, we have Loose End number 3. We just got the first issue this week. Hopefully this comes out on time. This is from Dave Dwanch and Travis Himmel, with an A cover by Claudia Caranfa and a B cover from Robert Hack. This cool looking Goodfellas homage. And finally, this Travis Himmel variant for Loose End number 3, which wraps up our focus on the small press. Let's move on over to IDW. There we go. We only got one thing on FOC for IDW this week, and it's a doozy. It's Godzilla vs. America. Los Angeles. Is the City of Angels ready for a Godzilla? Fresh off Godzilla's destructive stop in Chicago. There it is. The King of the Monsters is headed for Hollywood. Join a superstar team of Los Angeles-based comics creators for 4 incredible stories, all set in the filmmaking capital of the world. A terrified film crew does everything they can to trick our favorite kaiju. Residents use a guide to LA's transit system to escape the monster's attack, and much, much more in the second installment of Godzilla vs. America. This issue includes stories by Gabriel Hardman, Jay Gonzo, Dave Baker, and more. The other cool thing is, after the recent wildfires ravaged through Los Angeles and that region, this book is also now, pardon me, let me bring this up a little bit higher. This book is now being used as a fundraiser for the Book Industry Charitable Foundation, or BINC, and those funds will be used to support retailers in the LA area affected by the wildfires. So not only do you get a chance to read one of the most exciting and creative opportunities to fictionally destroy LA, now we get a way to help some of the victims of the actual tragedies. Godzilla vs. America, Los Angeles, from those creators that I mentioned, available on April 30th. With this Gabriel Hardman cover and a B cover from Jay Gonzo. And that wraps up our focus on, a very short focus on IDW. We'll move right on over to Image. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, first thing up in Image is Assorted Crisis Events. Also, heads up, I just moved this over, the first issue, over to Sci-Fi, for those of you keeping track. This new series from Dennis Camp and Eric Zawadzki just released a week and a half ago, and I super dug it. It was my pick of the week. I'm looking forward to the second issue with the cover by Eric Zawadzki. And a B cover from Artyom Treknov. Pardon me. And we got Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn number 5. This pretty cool cover from Marco Failla. Interior is written by Jimmy Palmiotti with art by Chad Hardin. Got another cover by Marco Failla. A Chad Hardin cover. Ooh, and then we move right on over to G.I. Joe number 6 from ongoing creative team Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley. Tom Riley cover. A Derek Chu cover on B. Eyes up, soldier. A Lorenzo D. Felici variant. Uh-oh. Head full of snakes. Head full of snakes. Head full of snakes. And then we got the one-shot G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero Spirit number 1. This is from writer-artist Leonardo Romero, who pens this standalone silent issue and the iconic G.I. Joe duo of Spirit and Freedom as they investigate mysterious disappearances in a nearby forest. Very cool covers by interior artist Leonardo Romero on A, and a B cover by Jorge Fornes for G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero Spirit number 1. Oh, then we finally get a 4th issue of Hack Slash Body Bags from Image Comics, Tim Seeley, Stefano Caselli with this Tim Seeley cover. And a B cover from Kalman Androsovsky. Hive number 1 gets a 3rd printing. Interesting cover. And we also get a Hive number 3. Weird cover design, but that's cool. Hyde Street number 3 gets a 2nd printing. as does number 4, with this new cover by Francis Portela. King Spawn number 54, written by Rory McConville, interiors by Yildre Sonar, and this cover by Eduardo Pensica, Tauntaun Revolver, and this Bjorn Barron's very creepy cover for King Spawn number 44. Oh, here's a fun looking book. Moonshine Bigfoot, Buzzard County, 1981. Moonshine Bigfoot spends his days making a living while outwitting clueless cops, reckless rivals, and buffoonish Bigfoot hunters. All is hunky-dory until he draws the attention of the Illuminati-esque cabal with his partner in life and crime, Amethyst. Our hairy hero is about to learn that some problems can't be handled just by jumping them in a souped-up Mach 1. Moonshine Bigfoot is a 30-page story from Zach Howard and Nelson Daniel. Steve Ellis also. Oh, then we get a new issue of Redcoat. Redcoat number 11 also features the very first appearance of the Northerner. Enter the great American myth from the unnamed, the Northerner. Who is this enigmatic figure? What drives him? And what does the immortal Simon Pure stand as his... And why does the immortal Simon Pure stand as his adversary? Discover the untold origins of one of the most mysterious legends in American history. And uncover how his arrival reshapes the destinies of Redcoat, Geiger, Junkyard Joe, and the rest of the unnamed from Jeff Johns. Artist Brian Hitch, who did this wraparound A cover. We get a B cover from Gary Frank and a C cover from In-Hyuk Lee, all for Redcoat number 11. Ooh, then we got Witchblade number 10. We got an A cover from Giuseppe Cafaro, who's the interior artist. And then we got a Tula Lotte cover. Very nice. Let's wrap up Image Comics with this Youngblood Deluxe. It's kind of like a facsimile, but I don't think it is, because it's rescripted, it's recolored, and it's relettered. This fully remastered historic first issue of Youngblood is ready to take comic stores by storm, just like it did in 1992. You could get your very own copy of this spiffied up Youngblood Deluxe number 1, 32 pages for $3.99 from Rob Liefeld, available April 16th with this regular old cover, but then you could get the foil variant for $5.99. And that wraps up our focus on Image Comics. Now let's slide on over to DC for a whole bunch of DC fun. We'll start off with Full Absolute Flash number 2. This just debuted this last Wednesday. It was a good time. It was my pick of the week from Jeff Lemire and artist Nick Robles, who did this A cover. Got a B cover from Jorge Corona, a C from Christian Ward, and a D cover from Clayton Crane. Wait, there's one more. It's a Jeff Spokes connecting card variant from DC Comics, Jeff Lemire and Nick Robles, Absolute Flash number 2. And then we got the next replica issue of Batman 615. This is part 7, maybe 8. Part 8 of Batman Hush, Volume 1. And that's also available in a foil cover for a couple bucks extra. Then we got over at Batman and Superman World's Finest, the big kickoff of We Are Yesterday. It begins here. The sinister psychic powers of the devious Gorilla Grodd have the Man of Steel and the Dark Knight in their sights. But all is not as it seems to be. Yeah, there's something strange going on here. Some monkey business that the world's finest can't quite put a finger on it. It's almost as if this Gorilla Grodd has knowledge of the future from Clayton Crane, from Mark Waid and artist Clayton Henry, with this cover by Dan Mora. And we got cardstock variants for an extra $1 by Gavin Goudry, Adrian Gutierrez, and this Brandt and Stein April Fool's variant, all for Batman Superman World's Finest, number 38. Catwoman 75. It's the beginning of the end. What? Discover the ruinous events that sounded the death knell for Evie Hall and her compatriots and gave birth to Catwoman as we journey back to the beginning of the end of it all. Catwoman 75 with writer Torrin Grauenbeck and artist Patricio Del Peche, and this cover by Sebastian Fiumara on A, cardstock variants by Frank Cho in Hyakli. Challengers of the Unknown is back for 5 of 6, the penultimate issue, from Christopher Cantwell and Sean Isaacs with this A cover, who did this A cover. A B cover from Jorge Fornes. And this is a completely different series. The next series we'll be looking at is DCX Sonic the Hedgehog. This is the second issue of a series that just debuted this last Wednesday in a 5-issue miniseries written by Ian Flynn with art by Adam Bryce Thomas, and this A cover by Pablo M. Kolar, and this Ejikuri cover on B. That's it. Then we got Detective Comics from Tom Taylor and Michael Janine, who did this A cover. Bruno Redondo cover. And Derek Chu on C. New Gods returns with 5 of 12. Entered the Justice League Unlimited, written by Ramvi with interior art by Evan Cagle, in this A cover by Nimit Malavia. Cardstock variants by Mike Del Mundo and Nicola Scott. Nightwing 125, kind of a big anniversary issue. Who can Nightwing really trust? Writer Dan Waters is joined by Francesco Francavilla on interiors with this A cover by Dexter Soy. Jorge Fornes and this cardstock variant, as well as interior artist Francesco Francavilla on this cover C. Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor, number 3 of 3, the finale of this long-awaited miniseries from the Black Label imprint by writer Mark Waid and artist Brian Hitch. Brian Hitch cover on A, and this B cover by Chris Samney. That's beautiful. Oh, one more cover. The Declan Shelvey cover. That's pretty nice. Teen Titans number 22 by John Layman and Daniel Bayliss with a Pete Woods cover. Tony Daniel on the cardstock B, and Daniel Bayliss on C. Wonder Woman is going to be almost... Oh no, we got a couple more things to show you. Wonder Woman number 20 guest stars Batman in an all-star team-up from Tom King and Guillaume March on interiors. Interesting. The Daniel Sampere cover. And a David Nakayama cover. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Oh, he does a good Batman. And a C cover by Guillaume Marsh, who does interiors as well. That's pretty swell. Zatanna number 3 returns with writer-artist Jamal Campbell, who did this A cover. Sweeney Boo on this B cardstock. And Jiyoung Lee on C. And we're going to wrap up DC Comics this week with Summer of Superman Special number 1. This is it. Spring into the Summer of Superman. The Man of Steel and his universe of friends, families, allies, and rogues is in for some big changes. And it all starts in the Summer of Superman Special. Brought to you by Superman series architects Joshua Williamson, Mark Waid, and making his grand entrance to the world of tomorrow, Dan Slott. This special oversized issue will set the stage for all the major events exploding throughout the Superman titles. When John Henry Irons and Lana Lang take their vows, everyone turns up for the big day, but trouble is brewing on the horizon. As threats from the past, present, and future kick off major new conflicts for the Superman family, brought to stunning life by the incomparable art of Jorge Jimenez. The Summer of Superman Special is the ground floor to the most exciting action imaginable in 2025. This $5.99 48-page one-shot already had those credits read out for you. It's pretty exciting. We got this Jorge cover on A, Alexander Lozano on B. That's very large eyes. Cool John Gang cover. Nice Lobo. Mahmoud Asrar on the D variant. Chrissy Zulo Uminga on this cool crypto variant. And a Jorge Jimenez foil variant for $8.99, all on this Summer of Superman Special number 1, available on April 16th from DC Comics. And that wraps up our focus on DC Comics on final order cutoff this weekend. Get those orders in by Monday at noon. Okay, next up, let's show off all of the Marvel comics on final order. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go a little bit faster on this one. Running up against the clock. Here we go. First up is Amazing Spider-Man number 2. That's right, you thought we were still on the previous volume. We are. One more issue left. And then we get Amazing Spider-Man number 1. And then we'll get number 2 that I have to order. Completely blind. Thanks, Marvel. Joe Kelly is back along with artist Pepe Larraz, who did this A cover. Get a wraparound Chris Giarrusso Marvel Universe connecting variant. Pablo Villalobos variant. That's amazing. Apollo Rivera. Then we got Avengers number 25, which is the first part of the crossover into One World Under Doom, Rise of the all-new, all-different Masters of Evil. While the Avengers are busy dealing with Doom, the new Masters of Evil strike in the giant-sized 25th issue. It also has this Luciano Vecchio cover and this Russell Dodderman variant. These will be available on April 23rd. And Deadpool Wolverine gets a number 4 from Ben Percy and Joshua Cassara, who did this A cover, and Ian Churchill variant. Eddie Brock Carnage number 3 with this A from Iban Cuello. This is interesting. Dan Parent doing a variant for Eddie Brock Carnage. Dan Parent is a pretty classic artist of the Archie comics. I think you might see that now. if you didn't notice it earlier. But then we get another variant from Ivan Shavrin. That's cool. Fantastic Four Fanfare, Marvel's first family in this special full-color anthology series. Each issue focuses on a particular member of the team. For this inaugural outing, Mark Waid and Ramon Rosales depict an escalating prank war between the Human Torch and the Thing. Alan Davis sends the team into hazardous into hazards deep underground, and Andrew Wheeler and Sarah Pacelli reveal what happens when the Mole Man interrupts Johnny Storm's star-making turn on reality television. Wow, that's pretty cool. Alan Davis is back in comics. Sarah Pacelli's doing interior pages. We got this A cover Matteo by Matteo Scalera, a B cover from Nick Bradshaw, a C cover from Nicola Baldari, which is beautiful. Love the colors. And this Mark Bagley cover, all for Fantastic Four Fanfare number 1. And we got Infinity Watch number 4. We got a David Baldion handbook variant. And Inhyuk Lee character variant. Magic number 4 returns with his J. Scott Campbell variant. Rose Besh. That's pretty cool. New Champions number 4 with an A cover by Gleb Melnikov. Pablo Villalobos. Ryan Gonzalez, not Shave Gonzalez variant. Yeah. Moving on. Nick's number 10 from Jackson Lanzigan, Francesco Mortorino with this Sarah Pacelli variant. Cover on A. A Federica Manchin variant. And a Francesco Mortorino wraparound variant. That's pretty cool. One World Under Doom number 3 returns from Ryan North and RB Silva with his Ben Harvey variant. Ben Harvey cover on A. A Chris Giarrusso Marvel Universe Connecting variant. Gabriel Del Otto variant. And this Godtail Doomasaur. I'm in love with the Doomasaur. He just wants to eat my head. And we got this RB Silva variant, also featuring Doomasaur wanting to eat my head. Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk, number 5. Ooh, and a Rafael De La Torre variant. Ultimate Black Panther, number 15. The New Black Panther. Ooh. From Brian Hill, Stefano Caselli, who did the A cover. A B cover from Rod Rice. X-Force number 10, celebrating 300 issues of X-Force with startling revelations. Forge has assembled X-Force to fix the world's problems, but at last, the solution reveals itself. Who or what is the solution? Oops. And what does it mean for the fate of the world? New villains, old friends, and a terrible decision that will change them all forever. Plus, a special anniversary tale featuring X-Force's past by Fabian Nichenza. This issue contains a key appearance by Classified. from Jeffrey Thorne and artist Marcus Toe with this Stefan Segovia cover and a Bendis Marvel vs. Capcom variant. X-Men 134 gets a facsimile for this Dark Phoenix reprint series. It's cool. I love it. Chris Claremont, John Byrne, classic John Byrne cover. X-Men 15 from Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman, who does interiors as well as this cover. Very tentacly cover. This is cool. It's got extra eyeballs too. Also Marvel vs. Capcom variant. And a Chris Giarrusso Marvel Universe connecting variant. As well as a Gerald Perel Cyclops variant. Ooh, we're coming up to the end here, folks. Only a little bit left. We got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 5 from writer Christos and Gage with art by Eric Gabster and this cover by Leonardo Romero. We get a B cover from Dan Parent. Another Dan Parent cover. That's so cool. And this Marvel animation variant. I guess maybe just taken from one of the design things. Sure, cool. I think that's that for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now we're going to wrap up the show with a big debut. It's Star Wars number 1. An epic new adventure begins for Luke, Leia, and the rest in the wake of Return of the Jedi. New York Times bestselling author Alex Segura launches the bold next era of Star Wars. Luke Skywalker must defend the New Republic from a bloodthirsty gang of mercenaries. Han Solo investigates a deadly underworld mystery and saves a surprising ally. Leia Organa must grapple with a new alliance opposed to the goals of the New Republic. Oh, so many covers. From writer Alex Segura and interior artist Phil Noto, who did this A cover. Got variants by Annie Wu, this Afra sneak peek variant. They just announced a new Afra, Star Wars Afra series. For those fans. We got this 10th anniversary variant. I think that's probably Chris Sprouse. Yes. David Nakayama. Gabriel Dell'Otto. That's nice. This John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. And this logo variant, all for Star Wars number 1. The epic new adventure begins. From Alex Segura, Phil Noto. Available on May 7th, Wednesday after Free Comic Book Day. You can get your orders in for any of these covers by Monday at noon. Noon o'clock. All right. I think that does it. But we have a little bit more to show you. We're going to tell you a little bit more about Green Brain events. We got lots of events wrapping up recently. And coming up this Tuesday is the Batman Hush 2 launch party with Brain Scan Live. It all happens Tuesday, March 25th at 6:08. We're going to let you folks in at 6 o'clock. You will be able to buy the very first issue of the Batman Hush 2. That's Batman 158. As well as have an opportunity to get a free ash can of the next issue, this part 2. That ash can will be provided free and is limited quantities. The event will also feature our Brain Scan Live, which is normally scheduled at 6:30 on Tuesdays. If you're an adventurous soul, you can hang around and watch it taped. It's Batman Hush 2 Launch Party, Tuesday, March 25th at 6:08 p.m. And that's the thing I just told you about. It's Brain Scan. We're going to be live that Tuesday. Happens every week. It's our live stream preview of New Comic Book Day on the eve of New Comic Book Day, giving you a sneak peek of all the amazing cool stuff coming out. Then we got East Dearborn Drink and Draw that happens on Friday, April 11th from 7 to 9. That is hosted at Downey Brewing Company. Check out more information at downeybrewingcompany.com. They are located at 13121 Prospect. That is in Dearborn. Their phone number is 313-288-8442. And the event is co-hosted by Blick Art Material and Green Brain Comics. And the very next day, we will be at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center just down the street on Michigan Avenue for the Detroit Comic Book and Toy Show. This second annual event happens on Saturday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We've got a bunch of local creators as well as a whole slew of vendors, stores, and collectors selling some pretty cool stuff. It all happens April 12th, Saturday. And then, I think the next week? No, just a few weeks after that. A few weeks after that is Free Comic Book Day. It's the first Saturday in May. This year, it's Saturday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Green Brain Comics. We'll have lots more information about this event, but you know how it happens. We give away thousands of free comics. We get a bunch of local creators, a bunch of cool local organizations, and who knows who's going to stop in, who you might bump into at Free Comic Book Day at Green Brain Comics. And, of course, you can join me back here next Friday for another final order report, your last chance to secure your comics before they go to print. All right, folks, that's it. That's almost every comic book on Last Call this week. And you've got until Monday at noon, March 24th, to order these items and many, many more. Please send and confirm items in your cart before the deadline. Can do that. Let's try that. That works great. Thanks for joining me for the final order report. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We are Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky. All of the links to our shopping cart website and Comic Hub are below in the description. Music for this episode provided by Brainstem Productions. We are spreading the love of comic books and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. It's 40 years. Feed your brain at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. Emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the final order report from Green Brain Comics.